chosen ones, empaths, and all the genuine souls out there. I know you saw your life going in a direction with this narcissist involved in your life. I know you had plans with them and you saw a vision with them and things like that. But it's time to craft your way for your life right now. Let's face it, they're watching, alright? They keep watch. Even for those of you that are not on social media, they try to find that information. They're attempting to try and find that information. Some of you might be on LinkedIn. If you're not aware of what LinkedIn is, it's like a business sort of platform where you promote, what you're doing with your career. They keep watch, all right? And what I want you to do is craft the life you want without this narcissist, okay? I don't want you to be hurt any longer. I don't want you to feel like you can't go through life without them. That's how they want you to be. I know it's a struggle for those of you that are in a really dark place. I know it's a struggle for those of you that are in a really hurt place. But honestly, you've been blessed with your freedom, however it ended, okay? Discard, reverse discard, you cut the narcissist off. You've been blessed with your freedom. And I promise you, 100%, without a doubt, you can craft your life and give it meaning. Now, I know you might say, hey, Zion, I don't really care what they think. I don't really care what they want to do. But I'm saying, do it for yourself first and foremost, right? Craft this life that you want to craft for your life, that you want to do for your life, right? Craft this life, put in your work, uplift yourself. But just know that whether they are watching, a lot of them, but I know many of you might say in the comment section, hey, I'm not on social media, they have no access, they can't see. Well, then you're setting off a trigger in the universe. Your energy, they'll be able to feel that you've disconnected, all right? Because when you was involved with this narcissist in your life, you were serving them, and they felt that you were plugged in, that you were connected. They felt that connection. But this is similar to you may have heard me explain before, unless this is your first time here. I always talk about cutting soul ties, envisioning a thread or a cord between you and the narcissist involved in your life, and imagine it being severed, right? Severed, cut with a pair of scissors. Imagine it being severed. This is basically you doing that in a physical form as well, by you structuring your life, having a vision towards what you want to head towards, okay? Think about things you want to do, all right? Make a plan. Where do you want to be in a few months' time? What do you want to do? Ask yourself these questions. Talk to yourself like a friend. Be kind to yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, all right? You honestly don't need this parasite. They're a chump, right? This narcissist that is involved in your life is a chump, right? I'm sorry, but they are, all right? They are. And you really don't need them. And it's you've been conditioned over a period of time, for the length of time that they were in your life. You were conditioned to believe that you need them, to believe that you want them. And this was all an illusionary, state of mind, okay? And you've broken free from that. And I know initially that can be rather hurtful. It can be shocking. It can be rather daunting. And all you want to do is bridge that gap and seal that connection with them again, or have them back in your life. But honestly, craft meaning towards your life of what you're heading towards in whatever aspect you want to pursue. All right. I'm telling you, if you get busy with things, could be your hobbies, could be your business, could be your career, could be your job, could be a side hustle, could be anything, right? If you get busy with things in life, this helps you disconnect from the feelings of woe and pain and suffering, because you're so preoccupied. You're not just distracting yourself with meaningless rubbish. You're actually, casting your attention away from them and putting it into focus and dedication towards crafting a structure towards your life and a more meaningful life. Okay. And this can all start with a plan. Obviously, not all things line up the way you plan them, but having something you're working towards really, really, really helps. Okay. You may have heard me say this before, but I remember when I had it in my mind that I really wanted to work abroad. I had it in my mind that I really wanted to work abroad. Okay. And a job offer come up, and it was a long process for me to actually go out to the different country to work in construction, doing electrical. I think they sent a first wave of people out first, but then I went with the second wave of people, and I was there only for a few 3-4 months, right? And then COVID hit, and obviously the whole world went into lockdown. I think most of the world went into lockdown, and they actually I was still out there. I don't know if you're aware of McDonald's. I don't know where you're watching from in the world. Most people have heard of McDonald's, but I remember when I was at work one day, and we went to McDonald's at the break time, and McDonald's had shut. And I thought, all right, this is the end. If McDonald's, because in the UK, McDonald's is open on Christmas Day, any holiday, 24 hours a day is open in the UK, majority of the McDonald's, right? So when we went to this McDonald's and I saw that it was shut, I thought, all right, maybe we're going back soon. And I was really disappointed that I had to go back, but it worked in my favor. And all I'm saying is that wasn't the meaning to my life, but it provided me meaning for a period of time and something to work towards. And that's what I want for you, to find something that you can work towards, whatever it is. Okay. Craft your way. All right. And it lines up to other things. You see, after COVID hit, you may have heard me say this before, but I'll repeat it for those to just reinforce the message. COVID hit. So what was that? 2020. Then when I come back, I set up a Shopify store and I started an online business, and I ran that through the year. Okay. Look, like I'm saying to you, I learned how to set up the Shopify store, how to set up the website online through tutorials. I learned about advertising. I learned about these things. Like I said to you, I'm not that active on social media, things like that. But I was doing advertising on social media platforms and Google ads and things like this. I was doing this to try and promote the business, and it worked. I had good customers. They gave me good feedback, and it was my purpose for a period of time. All right. And it's led all the way till now, till I'm doing YouTube. And I'm not saying this has to be your life. Your life is your life, and what you do with your time is your time. But I've heard people, when the narcissist was involved in their life, they always wanted to renovate their house. They always wanted to decorate their house. And when the narcissist exited their life, they finally got around to renovating and decorating their house. And it gave them meaning, and it gave them passion, So it doesn't have to just be to do with career, like me when I was working in an electrical or business or things like that. It could be anything. I've spoken to people who have done artwork. I've spoken to people who have wrote books, right? I've spoken to people who have sang, who have done different things, right? You've all got a lot of potential in you, and you have to understand that your dedication towards this narcissist involved in your life is preventing your rise. Okay? You staying in a subservient position towards them, or hurt and broken, prevents your rise. Now, I understand you will be in a hurt and broken place for some time. It's natural. There's no rush to this, right? Just take on board what I'm saying to you, and you don't have to do it today, but just put it in your mind. All right? That's why it's good to start with. Many of you have been through narcissistic relationships before. Now you've awoke. Maybe you didn't realize, but you woke up to this particular narcissist, and it pieced together all the patterns in your life of other narcissists, right? So, grabbing a pen and paper one day and just saying to yourself, what do I want to do in my life? Where do I want my finances to be? Or how can I save? Or shall I save for that holiday? Holidays help, right? Like I said to you, me working abroad, that really helped because it was like a holiday. Even though I was working abroad 6 days a week, I remember every Sunday I would walk to the local. It was in the country at the first, because I stayed in 3 or 4 locations when I was out there, different different, there was a manor house, there was hotels, different kind of accommodation types that was paid for by the company. And the first one that I was at, it was quite more in the country. And I remember every Sunday I used to walk to the local supermarket and, you know, speak to the locals using my phone to translate, because I didn't know how to speak to them, asking them where certain items were. And I remember when I didn't ask one day, I bought sugar and I got it home, made a cup of tea or a coffee, and it was salt. Yeah, it was salt. But I'm saying, like, you'll realize that you don't need these. Just craft your own life. And the more you go in your, like, obviously this doesn't happen overnight, but the more you go into, like, you take this on board, that you're crafting your own life, it gives you meaning, it gives you substance, it gives you something to head towards, all right? And you'll become that version, you know, of yourself that the narcissist will feel like they're missing out on, because they don't elevate, they don't grow, they don't ascend, they don't rise, you know, they don't. They stay the same. All right, and I want to touch on that. Like, this narcissist that is involved in your life mirrored you so much and tried to pretend to be on your level so much throughout the relationship. Like, if you saw them now, you'd be like, that's a Dusty. Like, if you were just a fly on the wall and you saw how they were interacting with people, their minions, their flying monkeys, their new supplies, you'll be like, who's that Dusty? Because they put on this performance to be in your life when they were with you, you see? So you'd be like, who's that Dusty chump? Seriously, you would. Like, seriously. But they don't elevate and grow, you know? They can put on the chameleon effect and adapt and change to suit their environment, but they don't actually elevate and grow to a new level and become a better person, you see? So I really encourage you to craft your way now, all right? Craft your way, all right? Gone are the days when you were with them. It's happened for a reason. The relationship ended for a reason, and it happened for your benefit. I know it may not make sense to you right now, but put in the comment section, those of you, those of you that have perhaps seen how this has happened for a reason, right? Even if you are still hurt a bit and stuff like that, see how it's happened for a reason. Put it in the comment section. Give insight to others. That's obviously if you like to comment. Give some insight to others about how this has happened for a reason, how things have worked in your favor in your life, right? Look, the narcissists that are involved in your life, for those of you on social media, they are watching. They do keep tabs on you for a very long time, right? I've heard of people in one-to-one sessions, you know, after decades, and the comment section as well. After decades, narcissists are watching their social media, doing weird shit, right? So they do keep watching. I know that 100% without a doubt. They don't let go. They really don't let go. So just, look, if you are struggling and you don't see no light, put it in the comment section. Someone will respond to you, or I'll respond to you, and I'll try and offer you some insight, okay? Like, if you don't see no light, you can't see no... I want you to get over, like, I want you to get to a place, so what? They're with a new supply. So what? Who cares? Like, that is where you're going to get to. I want you to understand that the dark days don't last forever, all right? They really don't. I promise you, 100% without a doubt, the dark days don't last forever. And time doesn't heal, but you learn how to adapt and deal with this through time. All right? At the moment, you may be grieving, right? And that's understandable with all of the hurt and pain you've been put through. It's understandable for you to be going through a grieving process. But try and, you know, start with a pen and paper. Get a pen and paper. Make some objectives, some goals, some pursuits that you want to do. Pin it on your wall. Even if you don't actively start doing it straight away, it's something that you're heading towards, or you know that you've got this in mind. Add things, remove things, do this. Just have some structure to your life. This helps you. I promise you, this helps you. All right? It really, really does. They will know what they're missing out. They will know what they're missing out on. All right? They keep up to date with you. They'll know what they're missing out on. I promise you. I assure you. So anyway, thanks for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. You may donate or support to the channel if you want to. Check out the spiritual channel for more content. My podcast is now on Spotify. All links you need in the description box below. If you would like access to over 100 exclusive videos, daily uploads and custom video requests, join my membership program at zionmembership.com. Links also in the description box below. There's a 3-day free trial and you can cancel at any time. All content is made by me with no ties to any organisation or university. Your support truly keeps us going. I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.